So, I have finally seen Transformers 1, and it was one great movie, I gotta tell you. So, this is kind of, spoiler warning, of course, because I'm giving a review. So, spoiler warning for anything if you haven't seen Transformers 1. Although I watched it like, what, a week or so late. Late. so, there will be spoilers, but this is going to be my honest opinion and honest views towards this movie. And I'm going to start out by saying it was great. It was, like I said, it was one great movie. So, uh, for a overview, I guess, um, yeah, good. Um, the animation, first, of course, I came into being a Transformers fan through the Bayverse. I'm in love with the Bayverse. I love the character Hound from Transformers 4 and 5. That's where I got my main channel name, Hound 4004. I'm a huge Bayverse fan, and that's how I came into this world. So all you Bayverse fan haters, please accept me. But so I'm not all that familiar with the G1 lore and stuff. So this was like a step back, kind of relearning how things should properly go. And it's a great movie to do that with. Going back, so it's animated. The animation was amazing. I would still love to see a fully CGI, kind of like they did at the beginning of Bumblebee movie, a fully CGI Cybertron movie. That would be amazing. They'll probably never do it because already Transformers 1 was called a fail, but it would just be so cool in the future. But I guess we get to see Transformers battle GI Joe or play with GI Joe instead. When are they going to add Barbie into the Transformers verse? But so like the animation, even though it wasn't CGI, I enjoyed it. It was enjoyable. Um I don't know, this is so random, but for me personally, towards the beginning, it seemed a little more kind of kiddie animated, but once more start happening everywhere and some of the battle scenes and stuff, that's when it really got good for me and is so beginning felt slow, I ish to me personally, but once we got into it, and I loved it. And you got to start somewhere. You got to have that kind of background. I mean, this is like a new entry point for Transformers fans too. People who don't know Prime, people who don't know Megatron. So they really needed to take that time to step it back and say, "Hey, here's our characters. This is what the movie's going to be." Um, Talking about some of the other aspects. So that was my horrible overview. Another thing I want to bring up, the voices. Having, of course, with Peter Cullen and Frank Welker and stuff still alive, it's like I longed for their voices. I didn't hate having the mighty Thor play Optimus Prime, stuff like that. But it's like I'm always gonna say it's such a missed opportunity. And it's like, okay, I get the younger Prime made sense. And I was actually fine with Chris Hemsworth's voice there, but it would have been so neat if at the end when Optimus or Orion Pax finally got the Matrix and he was Optimus Prime. It would have been so neat if they would have switched voice actors. It's like, okay, Chris has been the voice of the young Prime throughout the whole movie, but now that we actually have Optimus being Optimus, would have been so neat if they would have switched it back over to Peter Cullen. But that's not how it went down, and I'm fine with it. But it's like a missed opportunity. But they would have been cool. I didn't hate the voices. I didn't hate any of the voices. It's just what could have been. But some of the different things, like the Icon race, and I know I did a reaction on that when the trailer or TV spot for that particular part released, but that's kind of a big point at the beginning of the movie, and just being on Cybertron, seeing life on a different planet besides Earth is so nice. It's it's so nice. It was so needed, and I love it. This is also another random thing. I wish they would have spent a little more time on the other primes. So we got, I mean, not Optimus Prime, but for the elder primes, um, it was so cool to see Alpha Trion. But I wish we could have seen some of the other ones. But that's for another movie. They kind of almost set it up as there could be more in this animation style, in this timeline, in this universe, which is, we can maybe see some more of these things that are wanted from this. But I would have liked to see, when they were in the cave, I would have liked to see more from the other primes. But I do like Alpha Trion. He was kind of wicked there. Loved it. But one thing which is just kind of interesting, it's they spent more time with the Decepticons we know and love than the Autobots. It feels like, with the whole High Guard and Starscream being the leader, and we got to see and actually be with more of the familiar Decepticons than the Autobots, which that's cool. That's cool. It's one of those things. It's like, well, it is how it is. That's how it was. It would have been nice to. I mean, obviously the whole story was about Optimus and Megatron, but would have been nice to have some more main characters. I don't know how that would work out for the story they did, but I want more. I want more of the Transformers intermixed in the story and all that. That would be awesome. But one thing that kind of confused me, why these are just so random. These are kind of like thoughts. Well, hey, that's what the video is, but why was it Alita 1 and not like RC? It was kind of strange that Alita 1 was the feminine bot of the movie, but and another thing is with, going back to me being a Bayverse fan, the way they treated Sentinel the whole time was kind of a exact way they treated him in the uh, Revenge of the Fallen, not Revenge of the Fallen, The Dark of the Moon, when we had Sentinel in the Bayverse, when we've had Sentinel Prime in a movie before. And it's like, of course Sentinel Prime's a bad guy. That's who he is, but the way that they portrayed him as such a great guy. It's not just like, oh, he's a guy and he's there. No, they always kind of portray him as such a great guy. Like, ooh, Sentinel Prime is our hero. And they really went into that on this one. And it's so cool when we finally hit that turning point. And it brought me back to watching Revenge of the Fallen for the first time, when we first get that plot twist. And I loved that. And like I said, that was some of my favorite parts of the film, when it really got ramping up there. And at that point, that was the turning point. And that, so awesome, so awesome. I love the way that they did that. Great. Now, because long videos do absolutely horrible on YouTube, I don't really have that much else to say other than it was really good. I finally got to see it, and I actually am making a video about a movie for the first time, which is so cool. I'm glad I was able to bring this channel back. There's now something I want to do after seeing this movie, and well, like I just said, making more videos on this channel after like having a year and a half or so of doing absolutely nothing. There's something I want to do, and it might be hated, but so there's obviously, if you wanted to be a perfectionist and say, oh, the timelines, they don't match up. This Transformers 1 was a prequel to everything, kind of. But the Bayverse and its things of not lining up, lore-wise, is a whole heaping mess. I want to make a series about kind of connecting loose ends and combining, seeing all possible ways that there's some overlap, that these worlds kind of play together. I think that would be so cool. I mean, between Rise of the Beast to the Bayverse, and this movie to everything like Rise of the Beast to the Bayverse, it would be so cool. So I think I might start doing that sometime. Almost treated like a podcast. That could be so cool. But there's thoughts of the movie, I guess thoughts for the future that were provoked by this movie. And see y'all in the next one. It'll probably be we might be getting some more Studio Series sneak peeks here soon, I'd hope. It's about that time again. So, see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Roll out or something like that.